Hey guys, welcome to the first video of modern metal production. Today we're going to look at guitar amp sims and how to get a good modern metal tone with them. All the essential plugins used in this tutorial are free, and I'll have a link in the description below where you can find them. Some of these plugins won't be free, but you'll be able to swap them out for stock DAW plugins. To start out, I'd like to point out that the majority of this tone comes from the player's hands. To quote Brian Hood at 456 Recordings, if you pick like a bitch, you're going to get a bitch tone. I'm currently using an Ibanez Iron Label 7-string guitar with EMG 707 pickups into a Radial J48 DI box and then into the Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. The input signal for my guitar peaks around -2 to -4 dB. You don't want to have the signal clipping too much or you'll cause unwanted distortion, and you'll also want to make sure that it's not too quiet or you'll start to introduce unwanted background noise when you're adjusting the gain. So I'm just going to play you guys a quick clip of me playing my guitar right now, so it might be messy, but we'll see how this goes. Alright, that was the guitar tone. I'm just going to bypass all these plugins right here and allow you to hear the guitar without them on, so here it is. So yeah, that was the guitar tone, just dry DI. So now we'll introduce this gate right here. So right now I have the threshold set to -37 dB. This will obviously be different depending on the level of your DI signal. Right now I have the attack at 3 milliseconds, so really quick attack, a quick hold as well, and a quick release to make it as tight as possible. The gate basically keeps any unwanted signal out of the guitar tone. Having the noise gate first in the chain allows the clean guitar signal to be gated before introducing any kind of distortion, and that might alter the effects of the gate, so it's always good to keep this thing first. We're going to move on to the distortion now, so we'll open this up. This is a little guitar pedal simulation by TSC Audio. I basically just have the drive at 0, I believe, and the tone at 100%. This pedal gets rid of the boomy lows and mids, and it tightens up the mid-range. An alternative to this would actually be this NickCrowLabs tube driver, which I also like a lot. This has more options for you. You can you have a little pre-EQ, and then you can adjust all these settings here. I like this if you're going for a specific tone, whereas this is kind of just like a one-way ticket. So now we have the guitar amp sim itself. And right now I'm using Lepou's Legion amp sim. So here's the settings that I have it on right now. This is probably my favorite amp sim for metal. I have used Amplitude's amp sims. I've used Podfarm, Bias, Brainworks, Rock Rack, and a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head. You want to try to keep this drive as low as possible without affecting the graininess of the distortion, and this will just help tighten up your sound a little bit more, because if you have it driven to the max, you're going to get a really loose, very noisy distortion sound out of it, and you don't want that. Moving on, I have a tube emulation, tube power amplifier by Ignite Amps. You can basically just control the depth and presence of the tubes, and you have 3 different options to choose from, as well as changing all these settings. This plugin's cool because it gives it something special that I can't really explain. It kind of just puts more energy into your guitar tone, and I like that a lot, especially in metal, because you want as much energy as possible. We also have Lepou's Le Cab that I'm using, and I have 2 impulses. I found them online. I don't know. There's a lot of free ones out there. There's a lot of ones you can find on your own. These are the 2 I'm using right now. They're suited for my tone, and I like them a lot. These impulses act as cabs for your amp sim. Without your impulse loader here, you're gonna have a shitty guitar tone like this. So yeah, that sounds like crap. And then when you put this on, it sounds like this. So yeah, there's a big difference. It basically just simulates a guitar cab. So right here I have the FabFilter Pro Q2. In a mix, this guitar tone is going to sound huge, but by itself it sounds pretty measly. That's because I'm leaving room for other instruments like drums, bass guitar, vocals, and any other sound effects you might have in it. Right here I'm taking out a lot of the lows so that the bass guitar and bass drum can get through. I'm taking out some of the highs for the cymbals and the vocals. Basically, if you have too many lows down here, as well as the bass drum and bass guitar playing at the same time, you're going to get a lot of muddiness and it's going to become very unclear. Especially if you have subs in your car or something like that. You're going to have a very muddy low end and it's not going to sound as tight as it could be. I took out some of the annoying high frequencies in this guitar tone at around 3.9 kilohertz. I also have two cuts right here. They're just two small little EQ changes to tighten up the muddiness in the low end a little bit more. And the last EQ I have on this is an SSL channel. This is by Waves. I have some filters right here, right before 120 and right after 12, 15.6 to be exact. I've also boosted the high end at around 5.5 kilohertz to give it a bit more presence in the mix. I also boosted the mids around 1.3 kilohertz, only basically 1.5 dB. They're all small EQ changes that just help this guitar tone out a little bit. I took some muddiness around 500 hertz, just a small little Q right there, and then I also boosted the bass a little bit at 123 hertz. That just gives it a little bit of body, but not too much, or else you'll just end up creating a big muddy mix. So here's the guitar tone plugin by plugin. I'll start by muting all of these, and then so you'll get this. So I brought up a little project that I've been working on. It's original that I wrote, hopefully be released by the end of this year. I'll just give you a preview of what the guitar tone sounds like. I also have a little metal guitar bus going on here as a slate VCC, some EQ, some additional EQ and boosts, and then just a compressor to kind of glue it together. So here's how it sounds in the mix. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I helped you guys find a good guitar tone or foundation of a good guitar tone. If you like this video, don't be afraid to like it and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, you can put them in the comments below. But yeah, thanks again and peace out.